There is literally just a couple of weeks left for you to make sure you have all of your documentation in place. If you are currently struggling with disabilities or health conditions, and you're also in receipt of something like LCWRA, because on the 6th of April 2026, the big switch comes on. And if you don't know what that is and you want to know how you can make sure you're getting what you're entitled to, how you can take yourself a little bit further if you have limiting health conditions or disabilities, then make sure you stay switched on, make sure you hit subscribe, and make sure you watch to the end. Now, if you're new to the channel, hello, my name is Ali. I successfully sued the Department of Work and Pensions 3 times, single-handed, against one of Oxford's most prestigious barristers, because I was being unlawfully harassed at work and discriminated against on the grounds of my disability. And that's one of the reasons why I started the Justice Journals, to show you all the little things I went through, all the different things that you can do to advocate for yourself, and perhaps even become a true insider, which is my private membership here. I've opened it again on the website, thejusticejournals.com. Here you get lots of different access to employment related things, PIP, LCWRA, starting your own business, and even becoming financially independent, which I know is such a struggle for people with limited health conditions. So go and have a check at that. Now, I'm just going to say, excuse me, I have the Airbnb from hell next door right now, who seem to have a dog that barks forever. It doesn't matter how many times I've tried to record this today, it just keeps on barking. I would be going insane right now if I was living inside that house. It's bad enough being the neighbour. But I'm not going to keep editing out the barks because they're so random and they're happening a lot. So you'll just have to get on with it. Okay, so what in the world is happening to LCWRA and Universal Credit and even PIP? Because the 6th of April is coming soon enough. It's kind of like the start of the new financial tax year. And in true DWP style, they're going to switch up a whole load of things. So you need to know what your rights are, what you're entitled to, and how you go about getting other things before the deadline switches. Now, for those people that don't know, LCWRA stands for Limited Capability for Work and No Work Related Activity. That means you have a health condition or chronic illness or a disability that says that you cannot really be working, or you can only work a little bit because you have limited abilities in some way or other, mental, physical, neurodivergent, because of your health condition. And if that's you, you may be able to get an additional payment of up to £420 a month. However, this is about to change for new LCWRA. I'm going to say the majority of new LCWRA claimants in 2026. And before anybody asks me, how do I know this? I used to work there. I know the rules. I used to write a lot of the training, and I used to have to implement a lot of the policies across lots of different offices. So right now, LCWRA is, if you're eligible for it, pays £429.80 a month, okay? But come the 6th of April, if you are a new LCWRA claimant, that is going to literally slice in half to £217.26 a month. Now, I am going to say at this point, if you are struggling, because I most definitely would struggle on that, you should really start thinking about independent income. Okay, and I'm going to leave details down below where you can start some of my free challenges, because I work with a lot of disabled people and business owners and help them create their own income online. Now, don't think you're out of the woods if you are an existing Universal Credit claimant who is currently receiving LCWRA, because right after the 6th of April, any change in circumstances could mean that you are reassessed and you could find yourself in the lower category, the £217.26. Now, some people have had something called transitional protection in relation to health related support, whether that be ESA, LCWRA. But transitional protection is kind of like a way of having a bit of legacy protection. It only exists as long as there's no change of circumstances. So if you move address, that's a change of circumstances. If your health gets better or worse, that's a change of circumstances. If someone moves into your house, into your household, or moves out, that's a change of circumstances. Even household income could be a change of circumstances. It's kind of like a double barrel kind of like shotgun at that point. Now, people who are going to be excluded from that are going to be people that have terminal illness and those people that fit the severe criteria. Severe criteria could be people who have incontinence problems. Severe criteria for LCWRA could be people that have got very severe mental health disorders where they may need safeguarding for themselves or for other people. Now, in addition to that, DWP have said that if you want that full protection, you now need to have at least one Schedule 7 descriptor, which must constantly apply, so not a fluctuating condition, and be expected to do so for at least the rest of the claimant's life. And we're going to start to see the application of these new descriptor rules changing and being implemented an awful lot with any health related benefit, which means the onus of evidencing how your health conditions are affecting you and impacting you adversely are more important than ever. This is like something you need to be doing every single week. That's one of the reasons why I wrote the Health Journal. It is most definitely the reason why it is a continued #1 bestseller. I sell thousands of these every single month, and the reason why is because you can use them for PIP applications, you can use them in employment tribunals, you can use them in wellbeing tribunals, you can use them in lots of different ways. I will leave the link down below. And my health journal has been written specifically in accordance with different things relating to descriptors, which are a little bit too complicated to explain. So they're just all there in nice little charts and boxes, and you just tick them and there you are. The point I'm making is that when you complete my health journal every single week, that starts providing contemporaneous notes and evidence which organisations and tribunals by law must look at. Now, as you can see, there has been an update of all sorts of benefit pension rates for benefits, including attendance allowance. There is a benefit cap. And of course, there are differences between London and the rest of Great Britain. And we also have a complete, if I'm just going down here, we have one here on housing benefit, you have them on bereavement and on personal independence payments as well. So you may want to have a little look at that because it's definitely really, really, really interesting. And here we can see, of course, the big change, which is literally 50% from limited capability for work and work-related activity from 423.27 down to 217.26. Now, of course, the money drop is not the only thing that you need to be mindful of, because if you're found to be in the LCWRA category instead of LCWRA, and in a moment I'm going to go through a couple of different reasons why you might be put into the LCW category instead, you're also going to be put into a different work group, which means you will have to start looking for work, evidencing work, or being self-employed, okay? Now, one of the ways that you can be put into the LCW group is if you do not try a work placement, or if you do not comply with some of their work and health programs. Now, this is very Rishi Sunak days. It's something that he introduced. It is still there. I covered this so much at the time, nearly 2 years ago. And that was when DWP changed some of the questions in the UC50 questionnaire, which is a questionnaire that you fill in to see whether or not you could be found capable or not capable for work because of your health condition or your disability. Now, this table here is actually from the government white paper, I believe. It's off my slides from last year when I was coaching some of my clients. And you can see there that the government's intention is already to move people from the LCWRA work group from the LCWRA categorization into LCW, limited capability for work, and then they will move you into the IWS. IWS is intensive work search. That's what it stands for. And when you are in that group, you have to be actively looking for and evidencing work. And now, because of all of the different schemes like the Work Well scheme and everything else that's come around, if you do not take work and if you do not go onto one of their programs, they can impose all sorts of sanctions. So look at it a little bit like this. If you're in the LCWRA kind of group or tagged, you don't have to look for work. But you can work. You can work up to 16 hours like ESA. If you're in the LCW kind of group, you can do adapted work. And if you're in the IWS, you most definitely have to be looking for and evidencing work. Now, despite the government providing everybody with all of this wonderful information, the one thing that they don't tell you, and this is something I used to tell my claimants all of the time, is you can go self-employed. You can start a business. And as a disabled company owner, I own my own company and my own business, I can tell you that starting your own business is way less stressful than going to work. It can be more financially rewarding, and it's just generally a lot more interesting, and you can actively create and build your life around your health conditions instead of trying to be made to feel awkward and genuinely feel awkward or even unwell by making you do things that you know you just cannot do. And because I want to help as many people as possible to literally not have to rely on the system, not have to rely on any benefits at all, I have created a completely free, profitable income challenge. Because like I said, I coach a lot of business owners, particularly people with health conditions, neurodivergence. And often people come to me when they've tried doing some kind of cheap course buy-in or trying to promote somebody else's course and things like that, and they're still not making any money years later. That's not what I do. I help people build real credible businesses, even like businesses kind of like, like what I'm doing, writing books or creating content or coaching people or doing something that is online that is for the most part passive, so earning income from it without actually having to work in it all of the time, but it's a real legitimate business. And of course, in the challenge, you're going to get some little tips on advocacy, benefits, all the different knowledge sectors that I'm clearly an expert in now. And I think that would be really lovely to see so many of you prosper throughout the summer, going into Christmas, knowing that you're not going to be broke and you're not going to be forced into working in a job that you know is just not going to fit you, in a toxic environment that you're going to hate. So I'm going to leave details down below there as well. But what I want to know from some of you as well, those of you that want to kind of change your situation right now, have you tried working or have you tried starting a business and has it failed? And you know what? There's nothing wrong with failing. Before I became very good at business, I can't tell you how many businesses I tried and just was going nowhere. But at the end of the day, when things like that happen, you can only do it for so long before it starts impacting your health and also your money. So start learning from people that are doing it, people like myself, people that actually have businesses. And as you can see, many of you who know me, I have businesses that have got nothing to do at all with teaching people or showing people how to master their business better. They literally have nothing to do with that. So I'm quite skilled in that area. Now, if you're already on my email list, you are going to be getting a special little email inviting you in to the challenge. I'm calling it like the induction hub, where it's like a private chat room where you can chat, where you can ask questions. And like I said, this 5-day challenge is completely free. So come along, you might get some really great ideas, it might spur some inspiration or something in you, and you could have your wow moment and go, oh my God, I could do this. And I'll be sharing in there some of the things my customers have done as disabled entrepreneurs, as neurodivergent people that had no luck doing what they were doing before and are now earning really decent money and are very happy. And it's it's about being happy, isn't it, as well? It's very important. Anyway, I will be bringing you some more updates tomorrow, so make sure you subscribe and leave your lovely comments down below. I love reading them all, and I will maybe pull your comment up next and make a video all around that.